leather gloves, we're slapping in hams. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer, the circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter. We rehearsed this.
Oh, I didn't.
Welcome to Laughter Stage Live.
Live.
Oh, he's unbelievable. You are unbelievable.
On the cue.
We are here from Paradise Studios in beautiful Massapequa, Strong Island Television, right by the Lure in Massapequa, the Lure, the Long Island Railroad. It's nice to see you, Joe. You know who who's our sponsor is?
Who's that?
We are brought to you tonight by Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. Thank you, Michael Barasch,
Thank you.
for all you do. So, back Joe Napoli,
Yep.
Brooklyn man,
Yep.
firefighter, retired, and new title this week. He's a grandpa.
That's right.
Welcome to the club, brother.
Thank you.
You are going to love it. Your wife, your bank account, Amazon Prime will be there every day.
Oh, it already started.
Oh, forget it. Does your wife still working?
Yes.
Does she have access to at work too, to the Amazon Prime?
I don't believe so.
So she's doubling up when she gets home. For no dinner. There's no dinner. She's there on Amazon Prime. There's going to be no dinner, Joe. I'm telling you right now. The sweetie pies, when they get the grandchildren, it's like, I said, do my kids buy any clothes for these kids? Like my wife, she'll love this. So she doesn't have a long. I'm just as bad though, because I took her out. I bought her a sweatshirt. I'm getting now private gymnastic lessons for her.
Really?
She's not swinging and doing the full flips off the rings, and they keep telling me she's 3.5. I go, get out there, kid.
We need a scholarship.
No, she's going to take some private lessons. I'll talk to you about that. Half hour, only half hour. Oh, you could do it. You can do it. All right. So it's nice
Frankie,
to have.
Frankie, big guy.
How big?
22 inches long.
Taking after his grandpa. Big.
And well, not tall, but he took after me in the poundage.
In the poundage?
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
That's what you meant. He was 10 pounds, 11 ounces.
Wow. It's a sausage
he
sandwich.
lost a couple of pounds when he went to the doctors, but
that happens.
Yeah,
it happens. Yes. And then because it's in my life, I'm not going to ask you to answer this question. But by the way, my wife is a certified lactation consultant. So I don't know if she's breastfeeding, but breastfeeding in my house is like second nature. There's no, some people talk, breastfeed. It's like, how can you say? My house for years, and I'll answer the phone sometimes, and they go, hey, is your wife there? And I'm going, all right, how you feeling? And I'll get into a little discussion, and that's a little uncomfortable, for the ladies.
I would imagine.
They go, oh, you're a lactation. No, I'm not. I'm just throwing out some,
I just had a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Had the endoscopy 2 days ago.
Really?
Now that's after having 5 colonoscopies in my life. Because my not the same day. I didn't have 5 the same day. My mom had colon cancer. My dad had, and I always pronounce it wrong. Am I pronouncing it right? Prostate or prostate? Prostate cancer. Prostate. So I'm very diligent about doing this stuff. And the World Trade Center medical, I got this little GERD, So they had me taking a medication every morning. Didn't work. So I went for the endoscopy. And let me tell you something. These nurses and technicians were wonderful.
Where'd you have it done?
I had it done at Nassau Digestive Diagnostics over by the museum, over by Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went to Dr. Gould for years, my whole family, and he left. And this wonderful doctor, Dr. Sloan, female doctor. Not that I should say that or not. I don't know if I should say that, but I'm just describing her. Unbelievable. How many times have you been under anesthesia? A lot, right?
No, I mean, I wouldn't. So what do you consider?
Are you under a little anesthesia right now?
Now? When I drive, I hit it. I got a little bottle.
It relaxes.
I got a little bottle on the side.
It relaxes me. I listen to Michael Jackson, some propanol. All right, so but you've had a few surgeries.
I had a few.
Yeah, HIPAA.
Yeah,
I don't want to know.
yeah,
You're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me.
And
Yeah,
with the
HIPAA.
Okay.
All right, but you've had a few.
I had a few.
It's really weird, isn't it?
Do you get like all sick coming out of anesthesia? Yeah, you one
No,
of those?
I don't.
Yeah, no.
I don't. I wake right up, but I'm just saying it's like for colonoscopy, no problem. The prep is the pain in the ass, and doctors are doing it differently from what I understand. Colonoscopies, how you have to prep, but the endoscopy, no eating after 9 o'clock at night. All right, no drinking. That was not a problem. It's the thing that holds your mouth open. It wasn't that uncomfortable, but I didn't realize she was going to put that in when I was awake. So when she put
ball?
no, that was Friday night.
That was Friday.
I told you this story in confidence. That's HIPAA squared. We can't talk. So I can't tell a story here, but I just always when Joe gets that laugh, I always remember when Joe said in the firehouse, "Hey, you want to work out?" That's a long story. That's a long story. That some things what stays here, right? And that story.
That's one of those stories.
Yeah, but if you want to know one-on-one, I'll tell you a story. They put the thing in your mouth, and you're like, "Oh, it's a little uncomfortable." Boom, You're out. Like I woke up, and I'm like, it's amazing. Who invented like that? Because my wife was saying like years ago when the women have to have they had breast surgery, whatever. Back in the day, they would put a thing in their mouth to bite it and have them drink a little, and that was it.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're talking back in the day. I mean, what did they do in the 1800s?
I think bit on a bullet. That's where that comes from.
Bite on a bullet. Oh yeah.
Bite on a stick.
Yeah.
A little alcohol, and there you went.
Absolutely. And talking about Christmas lights, I got topics I got to get to.
Christmas lights.
I just flow from topic to topic.
I just call it Christmas hell. The lights.
Are you because you're in Brooklyn, so there's a lot of pressure in Brooklyn to make those happen.
I cut back a lot. I
Yeah.
I don't do the whole.
What did you just put a little Santa outside?
I do one tree, one wreath.
That's it.
Yeah, one.
That's it.
Christmas tree.
Well, I've talked about my Christmas lights a lot. I am the most artistic person on the block because my lights look like, when you see those paintings and you go, what the freak? Looks like he just did this with his butt. I just take my lights, blue lights this year, and I throw them on the bushes. That's it. I actually throw them on there, and my kids are like, what is that? I go, because you can, in my living room with the windows closed, I can hear people turning the corner and going, oh, with the windows closed in their car.
Really?
And that's how lovely my decorations look.
Do you save your lights every year?
Well, that's a good question. They are disposable lights in the LaRocchia house. But this year I bought the 2-gallon bags, and I'm putting 2 sets of lights in each of those bags.
Really?
So I'm going to try this year to save some.
I don't have the patience. Every time you take them out, got to follow it.
Yeah. No, I'm trying this year to be good and save some money for next year.
Decorating. I used to get crazy decorating the house. I would tell somebody, it could be 32 degrees outside, winds blowing, snowing, and I wasn't at work. I was decorating the house. Yeah.
People go crazy.
Well, I have that whole deck of park by me, where and this year,
that's why you because that's
not
famous.
Too far away.
That's famous.
They're doing double decker buses.
I was going to say that they actually have people coming from Long Island and Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And what do they just go down the block? They
stop the bus. They park the bus.
Oh, they get out.
Golf course. And they walk over, and they actually have a walking tour, and they keep it moving. Police and everything, all out there.
Amazing. Too bad you couldn't do some like next year. Put like a Laughter Saves Live box out for donations. Not in front of your house. Just show up with those people. Put it in front of the nicest house, and it's kind of hang out for an hour or two. No, who's gonna know? No, just a thought. All right, just a thought. You see the shirt I'm wearing, right? Now here's the deal. My wife made me. I wanted some meatballs yesterday. I'm a big meatball guy, and I can't eat a lot of pasta now with the diabetes, type 2. So if there are meatballs, and I've spoken about in my right now, I just went on to the meatballs. Like when we were talking, and I'm thinking about those meatballs. And no other food does this to me. And back in the day when I was allowed to eat at night, I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and then heat up those meatballs because they actually wake me up, knowing they're in the fridge. Knowing they're in the fridge. What is it? What food does that for you? Nothing.
Something that.
Nothing. I've been watching so many foodie shows lately.
No, I'm trying to think. Well,
let us know.
I'm a big meatball. I like a cold meatball. You like cold food?
I'll eat cold. But I like it heated up.
You know what I love? Cold lo mein.
I've done it. But I'm bad. Here's the deal, and I get in trouble with this all the time. We sit down for dinner, and the food is hot. Now, if you're spending money, like my son buys steak, he's spending all this money, and then he like puts it on the side and tries to keep it warm while he's cooking something else. If you're spending that much money, you've got to eat things hot, right? Eat it hot. So here's what my wife does. She makes everything nice and hot, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, especially if I can't wait, right? And then she goes into the 12-minute prayer. I thank this. We wish for Frank Fiala. I hope he's doing well. I go, honey, we haven't seen Frank in 2 years. Why is he still in our daily prayer? I'm thinking about Bridget, that she doesn't hit that person on a pickleball court. Everybody. And I'm sitting there like this with my fork, right? And my kids are looking at me because they know, right? And then every once in a while, I'll do like, amen, right? That doesn't go over well. Joe. All right, here's what we're going to do.
That's a nice tradition. Every night, say grace.
Well, sometimes it lasts into the early morning. You start at night. It's a long prayer. Very long. It's almost like she's thinking of things. She didn't prepare the whole prayer. And she'll pause and I'll be like, oh, here comes the amen. Here it comes. Meatballs are hot, right? And then it'll be like, and Frank Fiala, what a wonderful man. We hope that Frank's doing well. Every night, my wife prays for you, Frank. Every night. Hey, it's Johnny Plug time. Hey, Patrick. All right, we're going to go to break. And we'll be back with our first guest, retired police officer, actor, comedian, Frank Fiala.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds. But because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualify.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
Back with Laughter Saves Lives live. And before we bring Frank on, we forgot we got to talk pickleball. Sorry about that. Pickleball, quickly. I have been MIA with pickleball the last 2 weeks. Last week I was away teaching, sharing my knowledge in Newark to the New Jersey hazmat teams in UWASI. That stands for UWASI. I don't know if it stands for. And this week I had an endoscopy, and the doctor said, "Nah, you shouldn't be going." So Bridget played with my daughter,
right.
And Bridget had another issue with another player, right? She said, "You're the enforcer, but you're the enforcer of the team."
Yeah.
Are you not? I'm not.
I have
What
a
happened?
few nemesis at pickleball.
Is that a word, nemesis?
Yes, it's the plural of nemesis.
She's so smart. Yep. And what happened, Bridget? Give it on.
Because here's the thing, right? Normally when I play Johnny L, he's a bit of a ball hog, so the other teams that are good think they can really slam it on us because he's going to jump in front of me and you're a girl and he's going to get the ball.
I don't even know you're a girl on the court.
That's
all
true.
right? You don't look like a girl at all out there.
I'm very competitive. So anyway, I played with his daughter. The two of us, just nice young girls out on the court. This guy, he's playing too hard.
Take names.
He's slamming the ball at us. The ball hit Liv in the leg once. Your daughter.
What?
It hit her in the leg, and she said her leg was burning.
Oh, Joe.
It was ridiculous. So here's the thing: they're beating us handily at this point, right?
8-1, 9-1,
hitting with all his might
smashing
at us, and he's like acting cool about it. It's like, cool, you beat two girls, you loser.
Well, no, it's like, listen, don't go to the two girls thing. All right, don't go to the two girls because you're a very good player.
Right, you're right.
And we have beat teams that were two guys who were pretty good.
That's true.
Husband and wife who was pretty good. So I don't want you to go to the girls thing.
You're right.
We're gentlemen. We should be. And if you're better than the other team,
for other girls too. Whatever. If you're absolutely crushing the other team,
right,
you don't have to play like that.
What is the name of that team, Bridget?
Oh God.
Look it up.
I know the name of the team.
Look it up. And I'm playing Monday night.
Because he told me, he goes, if I'm watching Laughter Saves Lives this weekend, if you say anything about this, you're going to regret
watching the show?
Really?
He said that to me.
Oh, all right, never mind. He's watching the show.
What it sounds like?
He really said that.
Sounds like.
Was it one guy, one team? One guy, one okay.
Guy.
Yeah,
all right, well, Bridget Kavanaugh, thank you for filling in the last few weeks. We're going into the playoffs in 3 weeks.
Yep.
You and I are playing together the next 2 weeks.
We are.
And then you and Livy are in the playoffs because
Right.
I'm going to spring training to see my Metsies. And Pete Alonso will be there.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Bridget Kavanaugh. Let's bring out Frank Fiala. Thanks for hanging out, Bridget.
Oh, yeah, of course, thank you.
She only complained a lot.
I know, that's the thing. I only got to complain.
Come on, Frankie. Come on in. Still have the pickleball. Hold it.
See?
Frank Fiala is here. Retired NYPD.
Comment. 3 times and I showed up. In 2 years. And
this guy today,
yes,
in the car, we were talking about Frank.
Yes, see?
He watches a lot of TV, sees you on TV a lot, and he goes, you know what, Johnny? I'm going to hit him up, I think, for a little loan. He's got to be rolling it in with every time it's on. Bang,
Bam.
Frank gets another.
You would hope.
How much you get?
That was a non-union one-time payment commercial.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to tell us how much you got paid.
No, I won't. But believe me,
it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a whole lot.
I get paid almost as much for that commercial as I do here for the Laughter Saves Live show.
Rolling in the cash.
Yes.
Rolling in the cash. So, Frankie, it's
What's
been a
going on?
while.
Yes,
been a
yes,
while
it's good
since
to
you've
see
been on Laughter
everybody.
Saves Live. Frankie was one of the original co-hosts, in fact,
He
of
was,
the show.
yes.
We had 12 guys back then.
Yes, we had
Santo and
right,
Stevie and
Pat Marone, and
Pat
then we would
Marone.
swap
Everybody
people
said
out and,
everybody said a sentence, and then the show was over.
Right.
And yeah, you have all these funny guys behind the desk. Who's getting the word in edgewise?
They were fighting for words.
So I got rid of all of them
Yes.
so I could talk.
Santo must be happy. He could do Trump for another 4 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. He's very happy. Rich Walker is not happy because he's not allowed to talk on the show. He's always complaining. So this is our hero segment, by the way.
Thank you.
Do we have our hero segment thing? This is like a well-oiled machine. The way you see how we're doing this?
Yeah.
Hero segment thing. See how I throw it out?
You know what? It's been a long time since I've been on the show, and
Nothing's changed.
It runs exactly the way it did.
Exactly the way I want. Yeah, right. I want to.
Nice.
No, they didn't spell it right in the beginning.
Oh.
It said our hero, no H-E-R-O.
H-E-R.
Which is something you're familiar with, right?
Yeah, that's a different kind of hero.
It is. It's a sandwich.
Yeah, that would be the big sandwich.
H-E-R-O-S.
Somebody got a tattoo after 9/11 on his arm. It said something about heroes. What did it say? Save
343 fallen heroes.
Fallen heroes.
H-E-R-O-E-S. So
Yeah,
I go to work the
sandwiches.
next day and they go, bro, you got 343 fallen sandwiches on your arm.
Yeah.
And then they're asking me.
He had a tattoo with the heroes.
Thank God it wasn't for life.
Yeah.
Like a tattoo or anything.
So you were a police officer and a volunteer firefighter.
I was with North America.
Volunteered in your community. Let's never forget that.
That was really what set the stage for all my employment. You know, I was volunteer fireman.
Right.
Then I went to because I was more into the EMS. I mean, I liked the firefighting part of it, but
Right.
I really loved EMS.
Did you?
The
Okay.
medical part of it. Oh, absolutely. And so I went to New York City EMS, and then from New York City EMS,
I did not know you were in EMS. How long?
About 2 years.
Wow.
Give or take a few months, from 89 to 91.
You just went up on my pedestal there.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't think
And
no
where'd
one
you
saw
work
you.
EMS?
I worked Station 31, which was Coney Island Hospital, and then
Yeah,
when they
okay.
opened up,
Busy, right?
Yeah, it was. And then when they opened up the new Kings County garage, I guess that was around 1990. I was Station 33, so I went to Station 33. Although my they used to call it a cross street location, which was Flatbush and L, which was at the Dunkin' Donuts. So we used to park the ambulance at the Dunkin' Donuts.
You know, I don't know if people know this, Frankie. When you're in EMS, I guess as a police officer too, you're out on the road a lot. Like the firefighters, we go back, we're sitting, we hang out a little
things
bit.
have changed. I don't know how it is since EMS and
Right.
fire department merged. But
Well,
no,
not many of them
we were out. You had to be when you weren't on a call or returning from the hospital, or you had to be at that cross street.
Yeah.
I've spoken to, now there is a couple of triple houses on the fire department. Not many. Well, you have an engine, a truck, and an ambulance.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, there's
How
one.
many?
I know there's
Handful,
one in
just a
Rockaway.
handful, right?
There's not many.
Yeah.
But I spoke to the guys, and they were like, "No, they come in, change your tours, and
go
that's
out.
it."
Yeah,
They're
it's
out
a
on
tough
the
job.
street.
Tough job.
And that was it. But you know what? I got to say, the police department was very good to me. But the best job I ever had was New York City EMS.
Really?
And did you
loved
ever think about becoming a city firefighter?
When I was on, they kept dangling that in front. The answer to that is yes. They kept dangling that in front of us. They're going to merge. They're going to merge. They're going to merge. And my partner, who was on EMS for 100 years, said they've been saying that forever.
Right.
It's never going to happen. And then lo and behold, I left in 91 to go to the police department. And I guess somewhere around maybe it was 95, 98 was the merger. So I did miss out on that because I know they give the EMS guys.
It's a promotional test.
It's a promote. Yeah, it's
they come to the. Yeah. So you had those green uniforms.
Yes, the green and white. Green and white.
So back in the day, when I got on, a third of my class were police officers that were on the job already.
Yes.
Then they stopped giving them, like if you became a firefighter, you had to start at the level pay of a firefighter. You couldn't.
Right.
Before it was whatever pay you were at with the city, you'd stay there.
Right.
But they're putting all this training into these guys, and then they go, "Oh, I'm going to go over to fire department."
Yes.
So I understand from the city's point of view what they were trying to do. I also used to see, I don't see them, I don't go to the city, billboards in Manhattan trying to attract city cops to go to Phoenix, to go here, go there, because they have the best training.
Yes.
So they want to steal those cops
I don't
away.
see those anymore. I don't.
I go to the city not very often, but no, you don't see too many.
No.
Recruitment billboards.
Yeah. So all right. So you're a cop for now how many years?
20 in a day.
20 in a day. And did you got out because you were just done?
I remember I was toying with the idea of retiring. I remember I was working at Midtown South, which is Times Square. And I stood on the corner of 45th and 7th. I was working 7 at night till 4 in the morning. And I looked around and I said, I don't want to do this anymore.
That's it. Yeah.
And I did struggle. Even once I made the decision, I did struggle with it. Because you kind of realize, well, I didn't realize until after I retired, you lose your identity,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was a very hard, I actually, I remember going into a little. It took a year, but a year after my retirement, I went to a little mini depression.
Yep, me too.
Because
Me too.
I didn't know who I was anymore.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of the guys.
Officer Fiala, you're Sergeant Fiala,
yeah.
and
you
now
were Sergeant
Frank.
too.
You know, now you're just Frank. And
we were John and I running all over the city. Hazmat, it was known as the busiest truck. Today, it's the busiest truck on the job because they're responding to everything with the batteries, and you go from that to watching TV.
Yeah, well, I mean, I went into real estate, but
okay,
I became a realtor. But again, the first year, I didn't have a lot of business, and I I'm still in real estate. 14 years later, but in the beginning, I was like, this is. I don't know how many cops think about it. I will admit, I actually thought about going back because you have 1 year.
Yes, right. We had guys come back after 9/11. I'm sure.
I'm sure. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I hate to use the word regrets because life's too short to have regrets. But there are times I wish I had stayed longer.
Well, how about just looking at that 457 retirement plan? I look, after I retired,
with the mistakes, and that's part of it too, because I will admit that I made a lot of mistakes handling my retirement. Because
how about this? I don't know how you guys were at the kitchen table. Yeah. At one point, everybody was like, "Oh, you got to take a pension loan."
Right.
You got to take a pension.
And cops are like that too.
Then 2 years later,
you find out I should have taken it. I was shorted my pension.
It was like, you got to pay back the pension loan. You got like 2 years later, right? And I'm like,
and you never make up for that 8 1/4.
You get the pension advice at the kitchen table.
Oh yeah, everybody.
Listen, there are. I'm sure in the fire department as well. There are a handful of guys in the police department that actually knew what they were talking about.
Yes.
But either they weren't quick to give out advice, or because cops like firemen, we know everything.
Yep.
We don't listen.
No. No. So now you were a cop all these years. Then you decided. Now you had the acting bug when you were a cop, or did you start acting when you were a cop?
The answer to that is yes, but that's not really when I got the bug. I did some background work in the 90s, but it was a lot of work for a lot of time for very little money because it was non-union. And a lot of times I would be on set. They tell you, oh, it'll be 4 or 5 hours, and 15 hours later, you're still on set.
Right.
And now I got to call in work and bang in for the day and take an E-day, as they say.
Yeah. It's you've worked. I never had the patience for the acting. I did a few things minor, but you've had such a dedication since I met you with classes. We almost got thrown out of that one class that we took, the commercial acting class.
They just sent me a.
I
sent me an email saying that they had a class. Mary Callahan and
Is it Callahan?
It's Callahan.
Oh, Mary and
I can't remember. I cannot remember.
But we were sitting in the back.
So nice.
We were sitting in the back of the class, and everybody's in the class very serious with this acting class.
And
we were like, hey guys,
jokes.
Could you guys stop talking?
And it wasn't really even the teachers that said it.
No,
it was the other students who were like, we're trying to learn here. You can't put a cop and a fireman together and not expect. It's funny. Like we have our own form. Cops and firemen have their own form of gaydar. Like we'll be at a function, 7,000 people. There'll be one cop, one fireman, or one fireman, whatever it is. We always manage to find each other in a crowd. So you really can't stick cops and firemen and cops and all that stuff together because
it's great. It's great because we bust each other's chops. But in the end, most firemen and cops, they get along.
I heard a cop tell a joke. How do you know fireman's at a party? He'll tell you.
Yeah. But I always do the old, look for the guy that's in the cop or fireman in the suit.
Right.
Look for the black boots. Look for the white socks. That's
me.
That's how you'll know that there's a cop or a fireman.
So what has been your biggest role so far? Because I saw you on a show one night. I didn't even know you were going to be on the show. It was one of those recreation shows.
Oh, yeah, that's when I first started because I was non-union, so I was getting a lot of those.
I caught it on streaming.
Yeah, that was probably
I can't remember the name of it.
That was probably I forget which one it was, but the episode was called now I'm drawing a blank.
And you're a great actor because it was a stretch. You played a cop.
Yes, it was a very, very difficult role.
Big stretch.
But no, I did that was the one. It was a recreation of college students. I think they were upstate. Torture Chamber is what it was called. Because these kids, they were mistaken identity at a party, and then these guys, I guess they were going to rob them, and they were whacking them with a chainsaw. They were cutting them with a chainsaw.
Jeez.
Really? And I remember they made me laugh. Like, listen, we're going to show you the video, so it might be disturbing. I'm like,
I've seen it.
But yeah,
this was one of those crime shows where
Yes.
they recreated crime.
Yeah.
And then
I just remember. I forget which
I don't remember
which
either.
particular show it was. But to answer your question, my biggest role to date was from the TV show East New York.
Yeah, I love that show.
I had a guest star.
Yes,
role on
I saw that too.
Yeah, I had a guest star role on that, and then
And you played in that. You played a.
I played a probation officer.
Oh,
parole officer.
Oh, that's right. That's
Okay.
right. That's right. Stretching.
Yeah, a little stretch.
Stretching those muscles.
And then recently, just past October, I was on The Equalizer. I played.
Really?
Yes.
Did she beat you up?
No, she did not.
All right.
It was
She beats everybody up.
It was a one-liner.
My wife loves that show.
And it was nice. Met her. She was very nice.
Yeah,
Queen Latifah,
she seems
very
like
nice.
she'd be nice.
Yeah, she is very nice.
Yeah.
So and then I've just been getting a bunch of auditions. I just haven't.
Where they filmed that, The Equalizer?
The
Around New
Equalizer.
York?
That one was filmed here in New York. We filmed that in Manhattan.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Was it Manhattan or Brooklyn? I forget.
You haven't been doing a lot of comedy though.
I have not been doing a lot of comedy. I guess you have to be funny to be a comedian, right?
No, you know
I
what?
figured I'd say before you did. But no, I have not been getting a lot of comedy. But I do have a show. I'll be doing a few minutes on the 11th at the brokerage. It's the graduation show because my daughter has taken the class and she's graduating that day.
Oh, how much fun is that?
And then, as you know, my son Nick and I.
Nick was funny.
We took the class. He stopped doing it.
He was funny.
He was very funny. Unfortunately, when he started, he was 15. So now he didn't evolve with his jokes.
Right.
So he kind of outgrew his jokes because they were like high school jokes and whatnot.
They were good. He was funny.
But he was very funny, and I'm disappointed because he's leaving Saturday. He works for NOAA, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association.
Right.
So he's leaving Saturday to go to Alaska for about 6 weeks. Because it would have been great if he would have been on the show and then me and my daughter. It would have been nice.
Have fun on that. Have fun on that. How's your daughter? Is she funny?
You know what?
You didn't see it?
She will not. She will not quite.
All right. Let me know. Let me know if we need to put it on the after scene. And quickly, I don't want to divulge anything to the audience. Is she thinking about a change of profession or something?
Yes, she was.
I don't want to divulge anything if it's not.
She was going to school for speech pathology, and now she looks like she's going to go to the NYPD.
How do you feel about that? A little nervous?
I'm proud. I'm nervous. Maybe part of me is okay with her being law enforcement. Maybe as much as I love the NYPD, maybe a different department.
Right.
She would love to be a U.S. Marshal.
Right.
She's taken an internship with them.
Okay.
But the problem with the marshals is they generally say you either need previous law enforcement experience or military experience.
Okay.
It's a direct hire. Occasionally they'll take somebody.
Okay.
So she's doing very well in that internship. So I think they have their eyes on her.
All right, good.
But we'll see. And then she talks about being an air marshal. And I was like, okay, that's good because I had some friends of mine who have friends and some connections in the air marshals. And
I didn't want to divulge anything.
No.
We got to go,
I didn't
though.
know you knew.
I did. She told me today. When we go back. All right. We will be back in a minute with Kim from Butt Check.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I have 30 seconds to give you a very important message. My name is Arthur Lee. I'm the CEO inventor of LifeVac, a simple choking rescue device that could save a life in a choking emergency. We've saved over 3,000 lives now, but we're not there. 5,000 people a year choke to death, one child every 5 days. Please consider protecting your family in a choking emergency with LifeVac. Go to lifevac.net today. Thank you for your time.
Let's bring Kim right out. We're running a little late, so let's bring Kim out from Butt Check. Hello, Kim.
Hello, John and company.
On my phone, I always forget people's names. I'm terrible with names. What do you think you are listed under on my phone?
The Butt lady.
Butt. I have just Butt.
Well, just
and then I have Kim after that, but I have Butt. Because that's the first thing that comes to mind with Kim. Tell us a little bit about
There's
Kim.
never enough screen time.
Tell us a little bit about Kim, how we met and how you got involved with butt check.
Boy, we've known each other for so many years. I can't remember.
No, I don't remember either. I don't know why I said that.
15 years, I think. And I'm proud to have you, and we need to put you up on our new social media, Bottoms Up. I have a Bottoms Up page on Facebook. We're going to put up all of our existing ambassadors, but because I know, John, your mom had colon cancer.
Yes.
And I think that's how we met through Facebook all those years ago. I found that we had that discussion about your mom having colon cancer, and I just knighted you one of my butt check ambassadors.
I will be there. I will be there.
Right.
What actually is butt check, Kim?
Well, butt check is a colorectal cancer organization. Especially this year, we're focusing on education and getting people screened. Nationally, we're working together with all of the organizations around the country, and ironically, Color Guard Classic is coming up March, which is an invitation. I have an outstanding invitation for you, and I can share that in a minute about how I finally figured out how we get you out here for that. But
you mean you're going to get me out there, and I won't have to pay for my flight or hotel?
You will not. No, I get a special grant with Exact Sciences, and today it just dawned on me you just need to be my person next year.
Joe knows the fireman's motto. If it's free, it's for me. Johnny L will be there.
It's to have you come out, and we will be at La Paloma for the second year this year, coming up March 2nd through 9th.
Wow,
sounds Classic, and it features the several of the PGA Tour champions, $2 million purse. It's quite something.
Yeah, but I want to talk about you for a second, because you should also be in our hero segment. You suffered, or I guess I could use the word suffered. You had colon cancer.
I am 3 generations. My grandmother had it and passed away, because still today it comes up with when you're older like that. And she was in her late 70s. She was diagnosed, and they didn't pay attention to her, and she passed away. And this is a woman who had a much younger boyfriend, was dancing 3 nights a week, was just staying up all night, hanging out with her guy and having the time of her life in her late 70s. And she unfortunately passed within a 5-year period of having colon cancer. And then my dad had it, and he was age 72. And by the time it rolled around to me, I basically just ignored it. I didn't know anything about it, didn't ask. The fact that I had 2 people in my family that had it, it just didn't dawn on me, except for I had a very good physician, a general physician, who said, Kim, and asked me about my family history, as all doctors should. Yep. All general doctors should ask you what your family history is, and that was mine. So he was good enough to see
any signs or symptoms that later on you look back and you said, shoot, I saw that and I just didn't follow up.
I did, and I had on and off for a while had blood in my stool.
Right.
Icky, but that's a major symptom for colorectal cancer. And I just, I'm former flight attendant, I thought maybe it had to do with hemorrhoids. There are a lot of people that think, it's just a hemorrhoid, it'll go away. And it would come and go. So he gave me the slip to go get a colonoscopy, and I put it in my purse, and I think that's where it stayed for a year.
Wow.
Until I went back at age 47. I went back.
Having the blood in the stool that whole year, on and off?
On and off for like a year and a half by this time.
Wow.
And no pain. Sometimes there with symptoms for colorectal cancer or no symptoms, but I did have a symptom.
Was this like a bright red blood, or this was a darker blood?
It was, for me, it was red. It was red, but either way.
Either way, not a good thing.
You want to make sure and get in if you've bleeding from there.
And you mentioned Cologuard is one of the sponsors of the event coming up. Is that what you said?
Cologuard is the main sponsor, is the sponsor for the Cologuard.
That's the one where you send the stool in the mail, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, the what?
When for colon cancer, you put the stool in the thing. Is that
Cologuard? Cologuard. The box, the poop in the box, all the great commercials that are coming out with the little box with the legs and
yes. No, I'm sure a lot of people see that commercial and they're going, well, why do I have to go for a colonoscopy? This is a lot easier. Why don't I just do this? What do you say to them?
Well, the thing is, you have to go to your doctor for your pre-screening if you have a symptom or you are turning 45. So the new American Cancer Society standard went from 50 to 45, and many of us around the country think it should be even lower, but it is 45. So, and if you have a family history, you need to go way younger than that. My sister, who would never have gotten her colonoscopy, was in her 30s, and she went and got checked back then. So, but yeah, so I back to my story. So I went in for a skin rash, being vain, and I have this skin rash, and my doctor flew off his seat and was so mad at me because I had a family history, and he said, "You get your." I know I read your thing, no swearing, but I can use the word ass, right? I can use the word ass, which is part of my deal. So,
well, yeah, people usually call me that on the air, so we use that a lot.
Right. So he said, "You get your ass in there," and he was almost shaking, and he wrote me another slip and, stuck it in my hand and followed through and made sure this time he sent me to a gastroenterologist that became part of. I adopted everybody, became part of my family. So I got checked, and then one day I was in a parking lot and getting groceries, and I got a call, and there was just somebody on the other line just had a hard time sharing the fact that I had cancer. I had a cancerous polyp, one little booger.
And when was this? How long ago?
This was 1976.
Wow.
No, I apologize. No, that's year I graduated high school. Sorry.
Oh.
No.
I was saying, you look great for 108. Yeah.
2006. I apologize.
Okay, so since 2006, how we doing?
Oh, well, I had the best news is for me, and I'm extremely lucky, so lucky that I had to have surgery. I had a foot of my colon removed. I had an amazing doctor, Dr. Moja. Also a prince from his Nigeria, and I had this wonderful surgeon. And he came in my room after my surgery. I spent 5 days in the hospital, and he says, "You're home free." And wow. I could not believe my luck. So when my sister came, she flew in from Dubai or wherever she worked all over the world, and flew in to take care of me, and walked out to my car, and I literally fell to my knees.
So please.
Kind of half jokingly, but not, and said, "I can't believe that I'm this lucky, and I am going to create something, and I'm going to make everyone get screened for colorectal cancer." And
that is wonderful, because you took the situation and you could have said, "Oh, thank God, I'm doing better, I'm doing well," and just went on with your life. And you're trying to help people for years. And whatever you need from me, because my mom was my biggest fan, and she was just the sweetest lady, the nicest lady you could ever want to meet, and never complained, never ever complained. Because my mother had the what is the bag called? The
catheter?
No,
the ostomy bag.
She had that for years.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Never ever know. This woman didn't stop. She went on trips and never complained.
Wow. I remember your mother's story a bit, but we'll have to get that story again and get you up on my site. But I think we just need to give you that full experience, and with your work with Laughter Saves Lives. In fact, we'll get you out here, and then at La Paloma.
Out there.
What's that?
Arizona, right? Is it Arizona?
Yeah. Yeah, and then I know Denise is back in the back room there. We'll do a show like we planned all these years in Phoenix. We have a 6,000 square foot home that's being lent to us for fundraising and things like that. And maybe we'll bring you out there and we'll call Stevie Nicks, who lives not far from.
Look at you dropping names. I can only drop Joe Napoli. Listen,
we'll have Stevie Nicks do a song, and then we'll have you do something.
Kim, we're running late tonight. I'm really sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
We'll have you back again. Website. What's that website?
www.buttcheck.org.
Thank you so much, Kim. Denise, it was good to see you. Exactly. Time to John Ziegler. Come on.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I have 30 seconds to give you a very important message. My name is Arthur Lee. I'm the CEO and inventor of LifeVac, a simple choking rescue device that could save a life in a choking emergency. We've saved over 3,000 lives now, but we're not there. 5,000 people a year choke to death, one child every 5 days. Please consider protecting your family in a choking emergency with LifeVac. Go to lifevac.net today. Thank you for your time.
Had what's called Whipple surgery.
And we're back. Laughter Saves Lives with comic. Where is he? Where's John Ziegler? Can you? There he is. John Ziegler's here. Hello, my brother. And I'm not exaggerating when I say one of the funniest comics in Long Island. I would say he's in the top 6.
That's fair.
Is that
really?
Yeah.
I don't want to say 1 because I have a lot of friends who go, but I think 6.
I guess you're sitting next to 1.
Yeah, because there's enough room. There's enough room ahead of you for the other guys to go. That's probably me. He's thinking of number 2.
Right. Right. 6 is good.
It's probably me. He's thinking of number 2. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
Worked with you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a good show.
It was a good show. Right after I got off, you guys picked it up. Right. They had to stop the people at the door when I was up there. They were leaving. They were walking out.
Oh, were they?
And they go, hey, no, we got some real comics coming up.
Oh, they weren't fighting to come in?
No. They were leaving it. No, we had a great night. That was a great show. So what's up going on in your life, my friend?
Nothing's all good.
Yeah.
I'm busy with comedy.
Yeah.
I'm working a lot, and that's it.
What do you talk about on stage these days?
I got married a year and a half ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so that's most.
How's that going?
That's most of my material.
Yeah. And how's that going? Tell us.
What do you want to know?
And whatever you want to tell us.
That's the Vegas question.
It's your mic.
Marriage is good. My life's different. I'm 57 years old now, and I'm married, so I'm home a lot more than I used to. Like I used to be like a road dog with comics.
Right.
Like if I wasn't working, I was in the city. I was at an open mic. I take plenty of nights to stay home now and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm.
Wife is happy to have you around.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Any issues? Any issues that you guys?
No, you know what? It's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Well, it's been a year.
It's been a year. That's what I mean. Like
33.
No, we're gonna
33.
He doesn't just say 33. He says 30.
30.
I'll be 92 years old if I'm married 32 years.
That's
so
right.
It's not
You
gonna
got married late.
I
Yeah.
married at 55.
Yeah. I got married. I don't know when I got married. I don't even know how long I'm married, to tell you the truth. I always forget. It's so bad. So who does the cooking?
Neither one of them. We eat out.
You know what? Oh, yeah?
Mostly, yeah. She works, so she has a regular job. Like I'm home all day because I'm a comic, so I work at nights. But I'll go out, do some shopping. I do all the errands and all that other stuff, and then she comes home. I don't know what her cooking after she worked 10 hours.
Yeah. So you get the honey-do list.
Yeah. I do all my errands.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got a regular job, works in like manufacturing.
Oh, okay.
Like she likes working. She actually enjoys. I've hated working. I had a lot of careers. I hated every job I ever had except comedy. It's the only thing I like doing.
My wife works. Somebody's got to work in the relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
You've been retired how long?
Oh my God.
Goes by fast, man.
Oh God.
July 2008 to July 2008.
2008. I think I got out 2008.
Goes by so freaking fast.
I started comedy 2008.
Wow.
So you guys were retiring. I was starting.
Retiring.
I started comedy in Manhattan when I was a firefighter. I got on in 87. So I would say roughly 89, 90 is when I started taking the classes and doing the open mics in Manhattan.
I did one open mic in 1990. One.
That's it?
One. And it gave me so much anxiety. I enjoyed it, but it gave me so much anxiety. And
Then I went back to, I was like, I'm going to do another one. It took 18 years. And then in 2008, I started. It wasn't going to be my career. I just wanted to do it. It was like a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and I was so in love with it. And I owned the business at the time, and then I sold my business like 5 months later.
Wow,
Yeah.
you really
No,
dove into it.
I dove into it.
I give like I used to do a little bartending in the city, and I work with all these actors and actresses, and I'm like, man, some of these they go across the country, they give up everything, and there's something to be said for that dedication, you know.
I mean, I had no plan B.
Yeah, see,
this was what I was gonna, you know.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I was able to make a career out of it, but it takes a lot of luck too. Right place, right time.
Yeah, but you got to be, you know, if you're funny,
competition,
that will rise.
Yeah, you need some opportunity. You know, I was lucky when I came around. There was a lot of like headlining Long Island comedians that gave me opportunity.
Yeah.
Guys like Joey Kohler and Chris Monte and Joe DeVito. They all like let me open for them. That's how I got into every club I worked.
Yeah.
If I list the 15 clubs that I've worked at,
the headliner says, "Hey, I'm bringing along an MC."
Every single one. There was no club where I sent the tape.
Worked with John. He gave me a lot of opportunities to make jokes.
He did. You know, and this Joey's a funny guy naturally. You know, just at the firehouse, whatever. But people are always like, "Oh, this guy's funny. He can do it." It's different when you're up there.
Oh God,
it's so different. You know, because I've been on both sides. I wasn't the funniest guy in the firehouse by far. There was 20 guys funnier than I am. But you always like make people laugh or whatever. But when you get up there, man, it's different. Number one, you can't have those inside jokes anymore.
Yeah, no,
right. When you're with your friends, you get the inside. Everybody's got to understand.
You see that horrible trap at the open mics.
Yeah,
the kids who go to do the open mics, they're always like, "Hey," and then Bobby. I'm like, nobody. This is a waste of your time.
Okay.
Because you can't do these jokes. You can go to a comedy club. Nobody knows Bobby. You know, nobody wants to hear about your. What is
the give us the funniest bit you have that you love telling.
I like the jokes on my mom.
Tell us so. Oh, I love that. Yeah, just do some of that.
I can't do it. It's so awkward to do them like
that.
Yeah.
All right. You know, I should have set you up with that. So tell us about your mom.
Yeah, I can't. That's the Byron Allen comics.
Tell us about. Richie likes to do that. I don't like to do it.
It's painful.
Here's what I say to the comics.
So you fly on an airplane, right?
Right.
And then I got to do some stupid.
Here's what I like to do with the comics. I tell them, be funny, right? And if you want to go into a bit, go into a bit. If I'm talking about your nose and you want to talk about your toes, go ahead. But I'm not going to set you up. Just go into it.
My favorite kind of comedy is anything that's real, anything that's happened to me. I find it connected to it emotionally. I can write more about it because it actually happened.
Right, more passionate.
Something. I'm more passionate.
You deliver it better, probably.
All of the above.
Yeah.
So
you have a favorite comic?
I have a handful of them.
Okay.
Depends on my mood, but I love Louis C.K., love Bill Burr. I'm a huge Nate Bargatze fan right now. He's probably my favorite comic. Big fan of Gary Goldman, John Mulaney. You know, I have my 7 or 8 guys.
How about the old guys? How about the classic guys?
Well, I grew up on them, but I prefer the comics from today.
I always loved Ray Romano.
Ray's a great comedian.
And a great guy. When you not that I got to know him that much personally, but the dealings that I had with him and his people, nice guy.
I got to work with him there's a music venue in Manhattan called the Cutting Room, and I got to do a fundraiser show with him there. And he couldn't have been nicer.
He a gentleman.
With the organization that you deal with sometimes,
Friends of Firefighters?
Friends of Firefighters. Excuse me. Sorry, Nancy.
Sorry, Nancy.
They made Louis C.K. Man of the Year one year. And so Louis up there. And I wasn't too familiar. And
honorable mention to Bill Cosby. It was a big year.
They're making him the Man of the Year. And he's just telling everybody about, he's on it and he really doesn't deserve it. If there's anything he can do for anybody, just please let him know. So he walks away from the podium. I walk up to him. I go, listen, I'm getting a sheetrock order on Tuesday, 3:00. If you want to be there.
I think Louis is a great comedian.
Good guy.
Yeah,
brilliant comic.
And different delivery. I think that's the key to really loving somebody. They're different, not only with the material, with the delivery. Like even the female comics. Like I like Sarah Silverman. I just like the way she delivers jokes. It's a little different, and she's funny and she's cute. That's just me.
I'm a comedy nerd, so I watch but I watch the old school comics. And some old guys I really enjoy.
Norm Macdonald, I love.
Norm's in my top.
I almost got it. I only got into Norm after he died. I never really was a fan before. Not that I didn't like him. I just never really watched him.
My son turned me on to Norm.
Oh my God.
I grew up a Carson guy. My dad, I'm 57.
Love
My dad
Carson.
was in the
Yeah,
comedy.
Richie's
so,
a big
Love Carson.
so I watched Carson in the 70s, and the guests back then were like Rodney,
Yeah.
Rickles,
Buddy Hackett, like those
Buddy
kind of old
Hackett.
school, which I enjoy, but they're kind of jokey jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
They're kind
Bob
of a little
Newhart
bit
was
of
good.
Kind of catskill comedians.
Yeah.
Newhart was way ahead of his time.
Yeah. His delivery was
Newhart's
great.
almost like a modern day comic.
Yes.
what he was doing.
Yes,
Very-
he was
very
funny.
ahead of his time.
Very funny.
So that's the guys I like. But it's so subjective comedy, so there's no right or wrong answer.
And I love the comics that we work like yourself. I know when you're booking a show, and I am a booker. I book shows. I'd rather, I always didn't really want to book shows. It makes some extra money for my family. But when you can book a show and you book a comic and he's good, and then you close with a guy like this, as a booker, you sit back and you go, people are going to think I'm smart. People are going to leave and go, what a great show. And I'm going to sit there and go, Ziegler, because if you could open the show with comics, hey, it's funny, they're going to almost forget them after he's done. They're going to go, what a great show. And the guy headlining was great. The whole show was, and that's what a guy like this does.
A lot of my favorite comedians are people you never would have heard of. They're not always famous. There's a lot of guys who just didn't make it. Would you watch them?
I love Tom DiDario. People ask me, who's your favorite headliner? And sometimes I say DiDario. He's always writing. And his delivery again, very different.
I don't get to see Tom often.
Yeah, because you both headline a lot. That's why.
Once every 3-4. He doesn't live on Long Island, does he? Not a Long. I don't think he's a Long Island guy, is he?
No, he's Astoria, but I put him in. We got like 30 seconds, John. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm sorry. Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be February 15th. So Valentine's weekend. I'm headlining the Smithtown Theater.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll be there February 15th. And
you don't know any of my shows coming up?
I do have someone of yours coming up.
Look on the website, Laughter Saves Lives. Though he's going to be on one of our shows.
Islip for you. Fire department and Islip.
Yeah. Funny guy, John Ziegler. Thank you to Joe Napoli for coming from Brooklyn. Beach. Your brothers out there from the UASI team. Thanks for having me again. Good night, everybody. We're going to the diner.